Every town has a place you don't ask questions about. The kind of place where the coffee is burnt, the food is cheaper than it should be, and the regulars never seem to age. In Oakhaven, that place is Sal's Slop Shop. The menu hasn't changed in decades. Neither has the grease. Tonight, Pip and Barnaby are stopping in for dinner and something on the plate, dose and tea want to be eaten. This is episode 4, The Diner of the Dead. Sal's Slop Shop was the kind of diner where the menus were sticky. The floor was sticky, and if you stood still too long, you might get sticky too. The neon sign outside buzzed like an angry hornet. Sal's Op Show. Pip pushed open the door. The bell jingled weakly. Entry 22, Pip whispered, clutching the journal. The Eternal Blue Plate Special. Warning, do not send it back to the kitchen. Barnaby trotted in, his nose wrinkling. The air smelled of burnt onions and despair. My standards are low, Barnaby thought. I eat bugs. But even I wouldn't eat here. Behind the counter stood Sal, a man with a stained apron and glasses so thick his eyes looked like poached eggs. Welcome to Sal's, Sal grunted, not looking up from a pot of gray bubbling liquid. Today's special, mystery loaf with a side of regret. The order Pip sat on a spinning stool that shrieked. We're not hungry, actually. We're looking for a cursed artifact. Sal didn't hear him. He slapped a ladle of gray mush onto a chipped plate. He added a scoop of radioactive green peas and a mound of mashed potatoes that looked like a sad cloud. Order up, Sal yelled, sliding the plate down the counter. The plate stopped in front of Pip. Barnaby hissed. The mashed potatoes were breathing. Sal, Pip said. This food is moving. Freshness guaranteed. Sal yelled, disappearing into the kitchen. Oh. The Meatloaf Man on the plate, the peas began to roll together. They formed 2 glowing green eyes. The mashed potatoes swirled up to create a bulky, lumpy body. The gray mystery loaf became a gaping maw filled with corn kernel teeth. It was the Meatloaf Man. It rose from the plate, 3 feet tall and dripping with gravy. It gurgled. It's a food golem, Pip shouted. Barnaby, don't let it touch you. It's high in cholesterol and evil. The monster raised a fist made of solidified grease. It swung at Pip. Pip ducked. The fist hit the counter, splattering gravy everywhere. Where the gravy landed, the counter began to dissolve. Acid gravy, Pip yelled. Run. The food fight, they scrambled over the booths. The Meatloaf Man grew larger with every step, absorbing leftover fries and forgotten ketchup packets from the tables. It fired a barrage of rock-hard biscuits like shurikens. They embedded themselves in the wall above Barnaby's head. Barnaby looked at the biscuit. Stale, he noted. At least a week old? The journal? Pip cried, diving behind the jukebox. What's the weakness? He flipped the pages frantically, while dodging a stream of scalding hot coffee. Here, the gluttonous golem feeds on negativity. Okay. Insults make it stronger. Pip peeked out. Hey, you look, unappetizing. The Meatloaf Man roared. It grew another foot taller. Its potato muscles bulged. Wrong move, Pip shrieked. I insulted it. The monster tore a booth seat out of the floor and raised it over its head. We have to compliment it, Pip realized. It's insecure about its flavor. The compliments to the chef the Meatloaf Man loomed over them, ready to crush them into a side salad. Wait, Pip yelled, holding up his hands. You smell delicious. The monster paused. The booth seat wobbled in its grip. Its pea eyes blinked. Delicious? It gurgled wetly. Yes, Pip lead, forcing a smile. Like a warm hug for my stomach. You look so savory. The monster lowered the booth seat. It seemed to shrink a little. The gravy stopped sizzling. Barnaby caught on. He jumped onto the table. He rubbed his face against the monster's mashed potato leg, instantly regretting the texture, and purred loudly. Poor R.C., Pip said. The cat loves you. You're a 5-star meal, a culinary masterpiece. The Meatloaf Man blushed, turning a slightly brighter shade of gray. It let out a happy sigh that sounded like a deflating whoopee cushion. Thank you. It dissolved. The peas rolled away. The potato slumped. The teeth turned back into corn. It was just a plate of sloppy food again. The Chexel kicked the kitchen door open. Who's making all that racket? He squinted at the mess. The dissolved monster, the broken booth, the biscuits in the wall. You kids sure were hungry, Sal grunted. That'll be $4.95. Pip slapped a $5 bill on the counter. Keep the change, Sal. We're going on a diet. They ran out the door, gasping for fresh, non-greasy air. The takeout bag Sal wiped down the counter, whistling off-key. He didn't notice the tall, thin figure standing in the shadows of the back booth. The collector sat there, a napkin tucked into his collar. He reached out a long, shadowy hand and picked up a single, glowing green pea that had rolled off the monster. He held it up to the light, pulsed like a heartbeat. A dash of seasoning, the collector whispered. He dropped the pea into a small glass vial and corked it. He placed it in his pocket, next to the film strip and the wisp of silence. The recipe is coming together, he rasped. He vanished before Sal could ask if he wanted dessert. In Oakhaven, nothing is ever really gone. It's not the leftovers, not the curses, and definitely not the things someone else is collecting. If you're still hungry for what Oakhaven is hiding, subscribe. New stories are always being served. Some should never be finished. And once you've taken a bite, Oakhaven won't forget you.